Welcome, welcome, welcome. What's going on? Welcome to the live stream. Sorry, just turned my phone down. Just texting my sister about business stuff because we're partners in crime now. Bee's knees, welcome, mate. You're right. Liam, can you help me out in general chat, please? We can have a look, certainly. Spencer, welcome. Blue Rock. Let's have a little peek, shall we? What's going on in general chat? Let's have a little look. $1,894 square meters of netball courts. What would you charge? Is it tarmac? Oh, they've actually dotted the water supply as well. That's nice. What sort of surface is it? Is it like that spongy stuff, or is it tarmac? Oh, I just realised you guys didn't see anything I was looking at then. There we go. I think if it's that spongy playground stuff, I'd probably be considering around about £3.50 per square metre. £3.50 per square metre. With a biocide application. 1894. Let's just round it up. They're not going to pay that though, are they? Netball courts. Yeah, it's tricky when it's a big one like that, because particularly if it's a school, they're not going to pay £6,000, are they? You know what I mean? Spencer, welcome. HS, Connor, you're right, mate. Smoke. Can I ask a question? You can crack on, mate. Yeah, that's what we're here for. Top of the morning. I think this is the first one I've caught live, not having to watch an hour behind. Oh, nice. Awesome. It's tarmac. I'd generally be at around about £3.50 per square metre, which includes like a post-biocide treatment, but on an area that big, you might want to consider just bringing the cost per square metre down a little bit. But also it's a hell of a lot of work, so it's like, and is it just going to be you on it? Because that's a huge area to be pressure washing on your own. And are you going to be surface cleaning it? Are you going to be getting the Westerman on it? You need to visit something like that, really. If you've not visited yet, you need to maybe just organise to pop round. That'll probably if I was doing a quote like that and I sent it remotely, I've not got the opportunity to sort of like sell myself and impress them. Whereas if you can, oh, thank you so much.
Did you before me?
Thank you, lovely.
Got a little menace.
Hey, girly. Good night. Yeah, visiting in person gives you such an opportunity to sell yourself. Not in that way, but like show them you're experienced and equipped to do the job. You'd probably want a couple of people with you on that one, to be honest, mate. It's a huge amount of work, and if they want it doing in like the term, the school holiday and stuff, that's only around the corner, so you need to sort of act fast. I saw your latest video and I see you window cleaning. It's you, keep at it. What does that mean? It's you, keep at it. Honestly, I think window cleaning is potentially on par with cleaning like gutters, faces and soffits. it's like equally as, I suppose, cleaning the gutters, faces and soffits, that's kind of rewarding, because you can see like a massive difference at the end of the job. It's difficult work, it's kind of frustrating to do, and it's not very intuitive, but you get like a nice before and after picture. Whereas cleaning windows, you can't even get a before and after picture. I mean, maybe if the frames are filthy and it's like a first clean and it looks great, but I don't know. I cleaned windows again yesterday after the roof clean that we did, and it was only a small, relatively small house, and God, I was so bored with it. Like 10 minutes in, I sort of did the front, did the neighbour's conservatory, got round to the back, and I was like, oh, this is boring, man. This is so boring. I don't know, does anyone else agree with me, or is it just me? Connor, I will message you tomorrow, pal. Sorry, I forgot. Evening, Jake. Great roof video transformation. Thank you so much. Thanks very much. For any of you that aren't members, I've put 2 videos out today. The first one is released. The second one is a roof cleaning video that is due to go out tomorrow. So if you're not a member, you won't see it until tomorrow. I've got my first ever pressure washing jobs fully booked in, having my system installed soon, all thanks to Sausage Fest. Nice. That's awesome. How many jobs have you got? It's good going to get a bit of pressure washing work this time of year, to be honest, mate. This is like, I would say this is a tougher time of year to be landing your first pressure washing job, so well done on that. It's a tarmac with biocide as a post treatment. I was thinking £2 per square metre, then make a sick video. Yeah, you could do that as well. I would definitely get someone on it with you, because that's a huge area. I mean, and don't underestimate the time it takes to rinse tarmac. I don't know how much experience you've got with tarmac. I know some people just generally avoid tarmac because it's a little bit, I wouldn't say it's a nightmare, but it's definitely got its quirks. It's not as easy as and like straightforward as block paving, but once you've cleaned tarmac, you probably spend almost as much time rinsing it afterwards. It takes a hell of a lot of rinsing, especially if it's very coarse and very like very rough, old. And there's different grades of tarmac as well, so if it's a nice smooth surface, it might be a breeze. But if it's like an old rough surface and it's got lots of loose aggregate already on it, I would visit and maybe just get a little dustpan and brush or something and brush a little bit of tarmac if you can see that it's loose. And if you've got like, if you've already filled your little dustpan with a bit of tarmac on just a little square metre, then you imagine the amount of aggregate you're gonna rinse and draw off of the surface. 1800 square metre, like 1900 square metres. That's the main thing you get left over with like old tarmac, is just loose aggregate. Just me, it's not terrible. Visiting tomorrow, I imagine surface cleaner the whole way. He told me today that everyone else is quoting stupid money. It might not be stupid money, they just might not understand how much it costs to do that sort of job. When you're getting your van wrapped, I don't know, I need to find a design that I'm happy with. I've played with the design. I'll show you. So this is a design that I'm playing with at the moment, which I'm still not 100% on. I want to keep it simple on purpose, so it's I'm not putting too much text on the van. I just want it to be bold and to stand out and to be simple and sort of kind of cool. I don't want it to be just plastered with writing everywhere. A lot of people are telling me to move this text up to the top so it's more visible, but I think I'd prefer like a cooler looking van than just like more visible text, you know what I mean? I think it looks nicer at the bottom. I don't know. Should we see if Rich is about? How much is that resin bottle? It's about 100 can't get on it on the computer because it doesn't like my internet service provider or something. So I've got to turn my Wi-Fi off, go on to Equip to Clean, and then go on to resin tanks, resin filters. They do 2 sizes. I think it's called a aqua spray. I can't even see it on the website now. This is probably going to take too long, so I'll probably leave you guys to find that on the website if you're interested. I think it's about 180 quid for the big one, and 130 quid for the little one. And then you need the resin to I don't know, I can't find it, sorry. Should we see if Richard's about?
We'll be into it most of the night, probably into the early morning.
Hello, matey peeps.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Lovely stuff.
Let's turn the music off.
No problem.
Have you got your camera today?
Yeah, is it gone off, has it?
I can't see it.
Let's have a little gander.
I know you've done the Module 1 Pure Seal
There we
course.
go.
I'm looking to book one for next month. Looking at the Module 2, is it the same as Module 1 but more comprehensive? No, I think it's a different course. I think Module 2 is different surfaces. It might be vertical surfaces like render and stuff. Can't remember. Hello, matey. You've had a haircut. Looking fresh.
I've finally had a trim. It's took me about 3 months between haircuts. Yeah.
You're cutting in and out a little bit. Have you got a microphone today?
Oh, let me see if this works. Where is it?
Considering you could earn in a week what a minimum wage job earns in a month, 2.5 to 3 grand wouldn't be a bad price for those courts. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, if you just take it as, I mean, you have got to consider fuel and wear and tear on the machine, and you know, your cost of your insurance and all that sort of stuff. But yeah, if you stick 3 grand on that, and even if you spend a week there, yeah, Matt's right. It's not a bad earner, that, to be honest. You don't have to price everything by the square meter. I think it's just nice to give you a bit of a guide, really. Good evening, Wayne. I think 3,790, including biocide, shouldn't take more than 3 to 5 days. Yeah, yeah. I mean, with schools as well, you could also say, look, I'll include, like Matt says, include guttering and stuff. Yeah, it's a great idea. I'm going to quote my son's school tomorrow morning, Wednesday morning, to do their gutters, and they want me to quote their sister school as well, their neighbouring school. You're right, Richard.
Yeah, I think, is that any better?
Yeah, that sounds crispy.
Fantastic. Got these little clip-on microphones.
Hmm.
Yeah, they're pretty cool. I had them ages ago.
Is Discord using that? If you go onto the user settings, is it? You might have to make sure it's using that microphone. Oh.
User settings. Let's have a gander.
It's user settings, and then it's voice and video, about halfway down.
Voice and video.
You got some stick from that short video. I knew that'd rattle some cages. It's so funny. I mean, that wasn't for the clicks. That was my genuine feelings on the day. I was just so bored, mate. Honestly, quite a few windows on that building, and I got halfway through and I was like, how do people do this every day as a regular job on multiple properties? Like, I couldn't think of anything worse. The setup worked well though. The hose with the filter plugged in. Full-time window cleaner, 5 days a week here. I find window cleaning quite enjoyable. There you go. I mean, look, some people didn't like the fact that I had an opinion or a pulse. So the internet can't agree to disagree, apparently. Either one person's right or everyone else is wrong. You sorted it, Rich? Oh, I can't hear you. It's gone off now. Sorry. Is your microphone actually turned on? No, you might have to just change it back. Yeah, don't worry, mate. It's fine. Evening, Richard. How you doing, mate? I've got 3 small patios and I closed that roof for 1,700 quid. It's easier for me because I already have customers' reputation. I quoted 3 other roofs and quite a few other things. Yeah, the roof quotes are coming in thick and fast. I've had quite a few to do recently.
Is that working now?
Yeah.
Super stuff.
Is that the microphone that you've got plugged in?
There we go. Yeah. It sound like it.
Yeah, it sounds crispy. You sound a little bit...
Is it all right?
Yeah, you sound... Well, do that and then talk and then have it go further away so I can see if it's actually the microphone.
Hello, this is Richard speaking. I really do like your hair.
Yeah, that's working great, mate.
Yeah, okay, brilliant. At least we know.
Have you bought that for your
Stick it on
TikTok?
there, then. No, I've had it for about a year and a half because I was planning to do some online coaching back to my PT roots. So I was trying to do some social media for that, and done about 2 months of it, and thought, I'm not enjoying it. So it was just from a different venture that I had.
Your voiceovers on your TikTok videos are really good.
Thank you.
I think that's a huge barrier for a lot of people, is when they're posting content like that. If you don't get them with the satisfying clip, like within the first 3 seconds, they're going to scroll past. If it's not super satisfying straight away, they're not going to bother. But if your clip sort of slowly gets better throughout the thing, you've already lost them, so it's too late. But if you can have a voiceover, that's like a little hack as to keep people engaged, because they want to find out what's going on, because you're actually taking the time to talk to them and explain it.
Yeah. And you mentioned the captions as well. Good if people are not meant to be watching what they're watching. Then they can just read it in silence. So yeah, captions are quite good. Yeah,
TikTok does the auto captions. So
yeah,
sometimes it gets it wrong. So you've got to go in and edit some of the words if the speech isn't very clear. But yeah, for those people that are scrolling in bed and they don't want to wake their partner up, so they've got the volume on really low, the captions keep those people engaged. And also you can, once you've done those captions on that video, when you click upload, there's a button just before you click upload that says save to device. So you can save that new video with the captions on there to your phone, and then you can upload that to YouTube Shorts or Instagram Reels or Facebook Reels. And it's that's what I do for most of my stuff when I want to put captions on it.
Yeah, I've never really thought about that, to be honest. I'll do that now, because you can. You've got that save option. I think some of them you don't have the option to have captions, do you? Like Instagram, do they have? If you do a video on Instagram,
I'm not sure.
Translate.
The other thing you need to tick in the little settings as well is high quality uploads. In TikTok and in Instagram, you have to go into the settings to make sure you've ticked high quality uploads. But I don't know about the captions. It'd be nice if I could pre-edit a video with a video editing app, and it puts the captions in for me. Because the only thing I don't like about saving a reel from TikTok or whatever is that it's got the little TikTok logo floating around on there. which is a little bit annoying.
Yeah. I thought it was okay with that though, because I suppose it depends what you're trying to grow. I'm trying to grow a little bit more TikTok than I suppose like Instagram or whatever. So I think from my point of view, seeing the TikTok there, if people see it on Instagram, they then go to TikTok and then follow you there.
Yeah.
I suppose it can be annoying as well though if you don't want it there. I don't think it's like the best quality as well, the actual TikTok image. That's what I've noticed anyway on my phone. But,
yeah. The logo's like all fuzzy. My sister's just texted me actually because she wants to know how to get sort of more engagement on the Facebook profile and stuff, because she's just started her business. And what I've said is, in my experience, pretty much all of my followers came from reels and shorts and stuff. Like, you can post before and afters, and maybe, I don't know, I've never done adverts on social media and stuff, but I think before and after pictures and stuff and little posts and blogs and write-ups will only get you so far. I think if you want to reach the masses, you need to do reels, really.
Yeah. To be honest, I would much rather watch a video clip than have to see a photo and then read the description.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like I'm lazy, or it just grabs my attention a lot more seeing a video.
Yeah.
I'll sit there and watch all of it. Whereas if I see some before and after photos, I might scroll and have a look at a few. To be honest, sometimes just skim read the bottom or not even read it at all, just to see if a job's been done well or not. But,
Have you found that the editing and stuff takes more time than you expected, or is it about what you expected when you started doing it all?
I've just been very lazy with it, to be honest, mate. So I don't think I've helped myself out. I find though, when I'm like dedicate a set period of time, I just like smash it out. It's still very user friendly. I've just started using the DaVinci app. Before I was using Canva.
DaVinci app.
But I think, well, it's the software, isn't it?
On the phone,
hardware or whatever it is. No, just on computer.
I was going to say I didn't know they had a phone app.
I haven't even checked, to be fair.
They might do.
Yeah, to be honest, I like doing it on a computer.
Yeah.
Obviously, uploading like TikToks and everything, it's easy. I feel like it's easier on your phone, because I think as well on TikTok you get more options before you post than what you do on the desktop version.
Yeah.
I like doing the editing on the computer, but yeah, it takes a lot of time, and I feel like I've got to have 100% concentration on it to be able to get a decent video.
Yeah.
So just trying to find that time where I'm completely on my own to do it.
But I don't think it's for everyone. I feel like some people want to grow their business in like the classic sense of leaflets, newspaper, sending stuff out in newspapers, yellow pages, all that sort of stuff, door knocking. Yeah. But I think if you want to grow on social media, I feel like that's what you've got to do. And social media is so powerful; you can reach hundreds of thousands of people more than what you'd be able to reach in person. But it takes a while to. It's not even. I don't even think it's difficult to master. It's just you get out of it what you put in, and it is hard work.
Definitely got to put the time in. I feel like the filming the content and everything is no problem, because obviously you just at the job anyway. You've just got to talk to yourself through a camera, which can feel very awkward at times. But the more you do it, the easier it becomes.
Yeah.
But yeah, got to put a lot of time into the editing and make it run smooth as well. You see some video edits, and it doesn't look like sharp enough. So from that point of view, it's less engagement. But yeah, if you can put a good video together, social media is massive, and it's only getting bigger and bigger.
I feel like most people will do maybe 5-6 little videos and think, oh, I'm only getting like 50, 100 views on each video. Like, is this really worth it? But then you'll get one that absolutely slaps, and it reaches like 20 to 50,000 views, and it's like, oh, okay. And then you get an influx of messages and comments and likes and stuff, and it's like, okay, I understand now. Like it's a little bit random as well. I feel like there's so many of these YouTubers that say this is like the key to going viral and stuff, but I think there's a little bit of randomness in there. Sometimes you'll spend 2 or 3 days editing a video and it does nothing, dead on arrival, nothing happens. And then you'll post one that you spent 6 minutes editing and it gets to 500,000 views or something. It's crazy.
I think it's got to be very gripping, hasn't it, to start with? That's, again, I think it's a skill, because you've got to try and think from like a viewer's point of view. What do you find like gripping to stay on that video? But then at the same time, there's a lot of videos that, I mean, I'm quite bad for it. I tend to just scroll loads on social media. But sometimes you get like trends that really do my head in.
Like
and
what?
I'll hear like an AI voiceover or something. And I'm like, no, we're off. Like, It's trying to find what you like, but then what also other people are going to like.
I don't like the idea of trending stuff. People, it seems like they try and encourage you to do what's trending, to copy what's trending, and use songs that are trending, and like, it just feels like copying. It just feels so unoriginal. I feel like the people that do best and that actually stand out are the ones that are making original content. But it's easier said than done.
Consistency. That's something I've always struggled with, to be honest with it. But I'm getting a lot better.
I feel like that's been the one thing that has. I feel like I'm in a decent position at the moment, and I can pretty much attribute it all to consistency in both the business. The business is the only thing I've done consistently in my life. Like, it's the only thing I've dedicated myself to. That I told myself it was going to be 12 months. I said, I'm just going to do this one thing for 12 months because I've had so many business ideas and I've never really committed to any of them. So I'm just going to do this one. And it's the only thing that's ever been, successful for me. And then the YouTube, it's like, I'm going to commit myself to the YouTube, and I'm going to try my best to upload every week, do these live streams consistently. And the things that I've done consistently are the only things that have ever worked for me. And it's not a mistake. It's that's what you've got to do. I reckon you could do the weirdest, most niche. I mean, there's guys on YouTube that are like camping. There's a guy that he just camps in like random spots, like you get like mini roundabouts and stuff that got bushes. He'll go and walk over and he'll sort of look around and make sure no one's looking, and then he'll sneak into the bush and he'll camp there for like 24 hours or whatever. It's like, who thought this would get views? But because he's been consistent with it, and that's his whole channel, it's amazing what pops.
It's like, takes so many views before you kind of get hooked into it. Like, you might see that kind of person do that kind of video like 30 times before you actually watch a full-length video of it. So I think being consistent, constantly being kind of drip-fed that to viewers, one day it will kind of click for them, pay attention, and then that's it. Follow you as long as you're doing good content and keeping it consistent. But
yeah,
I think 12 months is a very good time period to set yourself as well, to be consistent with something.
Yeah, for anything.
You've had a full year. Yeah, for anything. As you've said before, you put out 6 videos and you think, nothing's gone viral, I'm getting hundreds of views. Probably took you, but you could probably get that done within an hour a day. So 6 hours worth of work, and you think you're expecting it to go viral. You've got to put like hundreds of hours into it. But that's the hardest part, because you want like instant gratification. You want to see that, something's working.
Yeah.
But it's like anything, learning a new skill. Like, I mean, I remember when I started sales, I was so like introvert, didn't want to speak to anyone. And I was like there trying to sell, £100,000 worth of car. And I'm like there, like, not knowing what to say. But after literally 12 months of it, you can then reflect on the first 12 and then be better moving forward. sometimes it just clicks for you.
Yeah, and it's
It takes
amazing.
time.
It's amazing to see how far you've come. Like,
Yeah.
I was listening to a podcast today, and the guy reminded me. He said something about just sort of taking any customer that comes your way and absolutely bending over backwards for them, even though you ended up doing work that you didn't want to do and underpaid, and it wasn't a valuable customer to you. You just, because it's work and you feel like you should, you just sort of do it. And it clicked with me. I remember in the beginning, I was doing jobs that I had no business doing. Like, I was laying patios. I think I've laid like 4 patios for customers. I've never laid patios before, but Sophie's brother wanted one, and then their neighbour wanted a similar one. I was like, well, I've done one, I could do another. And then someone else got me building these huge planters out of sleepers. She asked me to drain a fish pond, and like, I'm glad I didn't end up doing that, because I was like, what on earth how do you drain a fish pond and keep everything alive? And then I don't know, but there's so much stuff in the early days of the pressure washing that I got involved with that weren't going to lead anywhere, and they were just massive stress because I'd never done them before. But it just felt like you take it because it's work, and I'm so glad that I didn't go down that route of being like an every job kind of man, like a handy, I don't know, like some people will offer waste collection and garden services and hedge cutting and pressure washing, and they'll put some fences up for you, and it's like there's so many different things going on there that you need different pieces of equipment for, and you go down so many different routes and be average at all these different jobs. But I feel like I backed myself into a corner and said, no, I'm just going to do pressure washing. I don't know whether that was the correct move or not, because it ended up being like exterior cleaning as a whole rather than just pressure washing. But like you say, I think consistency counts for a lot.
Yeah. Good that you've been there and done it as well. Had that experience of taking on jobs that you think, never done this before. How's it going to go? Pushing yourself out your comfort zone. And that way you then, because you may have done them jobs and thought, you know what, I actually really like doing this.
Yeah, true.
I'm going to go down this route and, slack the pressure washing off. But it's also helped you realise that, pressure washing is what you want to do. I think I like the idea of kind of like an external cleaning business as opposed to just pressure washing. I think it just opens a lot more doors for you, but you've got to make sure you enjoy it. If you don't like it, like I mentioned about the window cleaning video, don't do it.
Yeah.
Like there's no point in doing it. Like why do something that you don't enjoy doing?
There's so many options. I think the point that I'm more getting at is like jobs that are totally outside of the realm of what you wanted to do. Like you're starting a pressure washing business, but you end up doing waste removal. It's like, what are we doing? Like,
yeah. You've got to put your focus on, one service.
Yeah.
Find out what service that is that you like doing, even if you do have to explore a couple of different, services at the time. Because hopefully it's something you're going to be doing long term. As long as you work hard, bringing in decent money, you're doing a good job. Mate, enjoying it's the most important thing about all that.
You're smashing through some of these repointing jobs. You're getting loads of these patios with dodgy pointing.
Yeah, I've had a few big ones, to be honest. I've got one. I think they're going to get in contact with me around December time, because I was starting to do one of them and just making that much of a mess. I knew they thought that I was just going to like patch up the repointing. I weren't actually going to grind all the joints out and completely redo it. So yeah, they said basically come back winter time when all the flowers and plants are no longer, and then I can make as much mess as possible, because I think it could damage some of the roses or whatever was there. I think I remember
you told me about that one.
Yeah. That was my first one, actually. That was my first one that I was doing. So I've done like about 2 square meters, and then he come out and said, "Let's just postpone this till winter." I just cleaned it all anyway, and then just charged him for the clean.
Yeah. Are you finding them really difficult like that? I'd say repointing is potentially like on par with roof cleaning when it comes to the amount of effort and physicality and the grind. What do you reckon?
Yeah, I would say so. Just being in that bent over position on your hands and knees, and if you've, I think I've done one that was like 150 square meters. It was the whole day. Like, I think it was like literally like 9 hours straight.
Grinding.
Just grinding. Thankfully, a lot of the joints were just mossy and mud. So I still grind them out. But it was, the stuff that they had was the sweeping compound.
Mm-hmm.
So I think it was about 5 years old. So it was like really crumbling and there was a lot of moss there. But I don't think the depth was quite enough. I think it was quite shallow, which caused it to just crumble away probably sooner than it should have. But even still, like, it is a lot of graft. But I do think it's worth it just because it completely transforms. It completes a job.
Mm-hmm.
You could have, like, you know, a nice Indian sandstone area that they don't want repointing. You clean it, take the before and after photos, and you look and you think, that looks so good being repointed.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I always offer it anyway. I always, you know, talk the customer through the quote and how I operate. And I always mention a repoint if they want it. Which is probably why I do land quite a few repointing jobs.
You're just actively
But
upselling
I do enjoy it. Yeah. Just giving them that option. And, you know, some people will be, we don't really use the space, we just want to spruce it up, and then that's absolutely fine. Whereas some people want to completely transform it, and it looks good after.
It's a good way to set their expectations and say, look, if I pressure wash this patio, your pointing is crumbling anyway. Now, if I run the surface cleaner over that, there's a chance we're going to lose a lot more. And then not only have you set their expectations, but that leads you on to upselling the repointing as well. Saying, look, we do offer this as a service as well. We can grind everything out and rejoint it. Or have you used the Titan yet?
No, that the next one that I'm going to do, I'm going to use it. I'm going to give it a go.
I've
heard quite a few people say that it's really good.
I don't think I'm going to use anything else because now that I know what it does and how hard it sets and how long it lasts, I don't feel comfortable using anything inferior now, and I think I'm at the point where I'd rather lose the job because I charged more because I'm using Titan, which is a more expensive product. I think I'd rather lose that job than use an inferior jointing compound that within a couple of years they're potentially going to be saying, oh, that guy that cleaned my patio last time and repointed it, it's coming up already. Like I can just hear their voices in the back of my head, and I hate it.
Yeah, I completely agree. Give it a go on the next one. But you would rather lose a job than do a not so good job. There's a product out there that's gonna be better for the customer.
Yeah.
So you offer them that.
Yeah.
There is no point in offering them something that isn't going to work in the long run, unless, say, we just want it, really nice for the next couple of years. Then we're planning to move, and maybe that would work, and they just want to save some money. But
yeah,
I'm going to give it a go, and then I think I will just stick to it as well.
Yeah, and that's not to say like the other products are inherently bad. Like I've done a lot of repointing work using all the different jointing compounds. I've tested virtually all of them. But now that I know there's a better product there for the customer, for the difference of, on 100 square meters, it's the difference of maybe a couple of £100, maybe 150, 200 quid, maybe on top of the bill. Yeah. And for the amount of work involved anyway, and the cost of that total restoration, which I'm probably not charging enough for anyway. I spoke to H2O recently, and I told them how much I was charging for the repointing, and they couldn't believe it. They were in shock that it was so,
Really?
yeah. They said you need to be charging like double that, but I was like, okay. I mean, I'm still making I'm making loads of money on them, and they look great for the before and afters, and they make some great videos. So I'm happy. But if I can be charging more and still be landing the job, then why not?
Yeah, I'll give it a go. When it comes into next year and the season starts, I think just work it out how you would, and then just add 100 quid on it, just to start with, just to see how it is. I think it does come to a point where you look at a job and you think, am I happy to do that amount of work? Now you know what goes into it. I'm happy to do that amount of work for that much profit. And if the answer is yes, you're happy, you're winning. If the answer is no, and you think, bloody hell, that's a lot.
Yeah.
Put some more money on. You've got to make it worth your while as well as theirs.
That's a great point. With these roof cleaning quotes that are coming in, now that I understand over the last 12 months how much effort you need to put in to properly clean a roof and do it well and tidy up after yourself and stuff. I'm not quoting a cheap roof. Like, it's not worth it. I'm not going to, like you say, I would rather lose that job than try and do the customer a deal just to land the job. Like, even if I've got no work booked in, I would rather lose that job than underprice it, just because it just didn't feel worth it for me. And as long as you're accurately, when you say about making a profit, I think some people forget everything that goes into actually making a profit. There's a lot of things that you don't think about, like fuel and insurance and overheads and wear and tear on your machine and stuff. So you need to figure out, like, this might be how much I'm making today, but how much of it is actually profit. I think Connor's probably the best person to talk about that sort of stuff. Connor Bentley in the chat. I've got a question to ask you. And you brought it up earlier last week. I want to figure out the mechanism behind actually getting a customer to sign up to some sort of maintenance plan so that I can have regular guaranteed work, maybe every couple of months, every 2 months, every 6 months, every 12 months, whatever, that isn't just doing the whole job again. You know what I mean? Like pressure washing the drive every 12 months from start to finish. And I've got a few in mind, and you mentioned one earlier this week. You're thinking about doing your weed killing PA1, PA6. Are you still looking into that?
Yeah. It makes so much sense to, especially after. I mean, this is the first season that I've done pressure washing. But the amount of people that have said this year has been amazing for weeds, with the rainfall, the nice weather, rainfall, week of decent weather, rainfall, and it makes sense to be able to offer that. So I'll always say they want a job. I'll say nothing will stop the weeds coming back. It's just a matter of cleaning the surface, blasting everything out as much as we can. And there's a lot of factors that determine whether weeds are going to be coming back or not. And then at that point, you've pretty much can offer that maintenance plan. If it comes back, though, I do offer this.
Yeah.
And then straight away they're going to think, okay, you're going to do the best job you can cleaning it. If weeds do come back, I know he's there to come and sort the issues out. So it just makes so much sense to do it.
Yeah.
I think it's worth the investment.
So I want to dig deeper into this and figure out exactly how this is done, because a bit of advice that I got from one of my mates who runs a local business, he said, get people on a subscription service, monthly direct debit or whatever, that equals security. And I understand what he means. In the pressure washing game, it's like there's not really any security. You're just hoping your customers are going to come back next year. But when it comes to a weed killing plan, I want to go through it step by step, because in my head, I've got like a minimum charge of maybe, I mean, what am I happy to pay for someone to come and maybe every 2 months come round and just literally spend 5 minutes spraying some weed killer on the majority of the weeds. is that a £25 job? Is that a £30 job? Am I way off? What do you think?
I was thinking exactly the same. There's not much involved, is there? You're there literally spraying weed killer on the weeds. It's going to take you 5 minutes, depending obviously on the size.
It's just the product, the cost of the product diluted down.
True. Yeah, true.
I feel like a minimum £25 for like anything under 40, 50 square meters, and then maybe price it by square meter after that. I don't know.
Yeah, I think that sounds fair, because again, it's got to be worth your while, because if you're traveling in 20 minutes to a customer, granted only a 5-minute job, that's a lot of time out of your day as well.
Yeah.
So it's got like a minimum charge of a pressure wash, for example, 125 quid just for you to come out and do whatever size, as long as it meets that. You've got to plan it the same for weed killing. So would you be happy to spend, potentially an hour out of your day for 25 quid?
If
minus your expenses of the weed killer as well.
Yeah.
So
and you also got to cover the cost of the course. You've got to make sure the course is worthwhile, because you're still paying off that course. Yeah. Those first, 10, 15 jobs are only covering the cost of the course.
Yeah.
But it's something that I could potentially set Jakey up with and just put him... You could put 6 or 7 in for a day and just send him out on them.
Yeah.
Every couple of months.
You could get yourself busy with it.
You could potentially fill a week with it for someone to just that's your job now. So I'm thinking about it from I think my strategy would be to have I'd probably use acetic acid, because that's something you can dilute down, and I reckon you could probably. Does anyone know, if you were to... Matt will know this. I bet he'll know. If you can dilute acetic acid down into a pump sprayer, can you leave it there in that pump sprayer and it'll be just as strong as next time you come to use it? Or will that degrade over time once it's mixed with water? I'm guessing it'll get weaker over time. Most I charge for just weed killing for a job is 200 quid. It took 10 minutes, 15 litres of diluted weed killer. That's the most you've charged for. Okay. £30 minimum. If I want regular, reliable... Sorry.
Just going to say to Andrew, how much would you say the expenditure was for the weed killer on that job? £200.
If I want a regular, reliable work every couple of months, become a window cleaner. This is what got me onto the topic in my head. Is everyone in the comments was saying it's regular, reliable work that you can, it's your bread and butter sort of thing. Is there an equivalent in exterior cleaning if you don't want to do windows? So this is what we're diving into now. £2, and it was a how much was the job again? £200 job. That's crazy. Where are you getting your weed killer from?
Not bad. I'm just going to do weed killing.
Solar panels. That's another one I was going to get onto, but you're getting too far ahead of me at the moment. I've got my list. Just chill. Okay, so the actual mechanism of selling the customer on this weed killing service. So you've cleaned their drive. Let's say this isn't a new customer that just wants weed killing. This is a customer that you're going to upsell after you've cleaned their drive or their patio or whatever. You'll suggest to them the weeds are going to come back eventually. Don't know how long it's going to take. Could take 2 weeks. It could take 6 months, but they will eventually come back through. How do I sell that customer on a weed killing maintenance plan? Because I feel like you need to do it on the day, else they forget about you. I think the key to these maintenance plans are setting it up, booking them in on the day. When you finish the job, you've resanded the drive, right, can I get you booked in for 2 months' time, and I'll come back, 30 quid, and I'll spray some weed killer down. How do we know the weeds are even going to be back?
The other option is, instead of having like a set time, say 2 months, example, they call you when they notice the weeds. You come out and treat whatever area is needed, and get them on a subscription of something fairly low, and maybe what are you thinking? £25 for a month for subscription? Is that what you were thinking?
I
So
don't.
every couple of months, obviously, it's going to be £50.
Unless you've got some sort of e-commerce platform or something on your phone where you can receive or have people set up direct debits or standing orders or whatever, I don't think you're going to get someone to commit to set up a direct debit on the day for you. So I think it's not going to be a contract. It's just going to be a verbal agreement, isn't it? And you just got to push and do the sort of hard sell and say, I'll be back in 2 months' time and it's going to cost this much. And at that point, they either agree or they don't agree. But like you say, if you wait for them to get in touch, and from that point, you say, right, I'll come back every 2 months. I'll treat the whole drive. I won't necessarily need to cover the whole drive, but I will inspect the whole drive and I'll get every little weed and I'll treat it. Because I'm not going to go around just to do a little patch and then they're going to be like, oh, you've only done a little bit. Like, surely that's only a $5's worth. I'm going to inspect the whole drive. That's what you're paying for. And let's maintain this now going forward.
Word it as an inspection then. It's an inspection and a weed killing treatment. So it's not just a case that you're coming up to spray the weeds, whether it needs them or not. So you're going to inspect it and then you're going to treat it. It feels like they're getting double amount of service. It's just something that I think from a customer's point of view, they'll be like, oh, well, at least they're going to come over for an inspection. And then if there's something else that they see, they might pull us up on it and go, down the route of giving them some information on how they can improve a certain part of the drive or, other products that you have. So, biocide, for example, if you come back and it's fairly mossy and you think, oh, actually, you know what? Maybe a biocide treatment would work as well.
Yeah.
It's just trying to get. Yeah.
I think you need to be sort of pushy because I'm too nice and I'm just like, right, it's done. Now it's your job to sort of maintain it. I'm happy to come back every 6 months to put some biocide down, but just sort of call me and let me know. I'm not very good at following up and chasing people because I don't like selling.
Yeah, I get that.
But if you're doing a patio or some decking, for example, that makes total sense to say, do you want to book in for 6 months' time and I'll come back and we'll put some biocide down. And that means we don't have to keep pressure washing it every year. We can just maintain it now.
Yeah.
I think that makes perfect sense. And you can book them in. It's going to be £75. That's my minimum charge. And let's do that every 6 months.
Yeah. Yeah. Give them multiple options. Weed killing, biocide treatment, inspection.
I want to figure it out.
I think you can. I think you could charge more. Then I think you could. If they agree to a biocide treatment, for example, I think you can charge a bit more because you're saying you're going to be doing the inspection and other things. They've got to just feel like they're getting a lot of
value
service. Yeah, and it's got to be valuable service.
Dauntless just made a good point. Sorry, go on.
What's that? No, I was going to say a lot of people may, choose not to, but I think it would be a very popular thing to offer.
Well, if you imagine all those customers that you've just done their repointing on, they've just spent some serious money having their patio restored. Why would they not want you to come back and maintain it? You're not advising we'll come back in 12 months and pressure wash it again because you've got all that nice fresh jointing compound that we don't want to disturb. So why don't I come back in 6 months and apply the biocide and keep on top of it? But Dauntless says, can you maintain driveways and patios with only biocide? I would suggest on a block paved driveway that has sand between the joints, I would say if it's sealed, this is the advice that Pure Seal gave me for their advice when it comes to maintenance plans, is for a block paved driveway, they'd advise to seal it first. Start from fresh, like pressure wash it, chemically treat it, sand it, seal it, lock all that sand in, and at that point, then you can maintain it with biocide. If you're not sealing it, you're going to get weeds and moss, and the sand's going to disappear, and you're going to have all sorts of issues where you might come back round in 6 months' time for the biocide, but there might be other glaring issues that you hadn't accounted for, whereas it's not going to be as obvious. It's not going to degrade as quickly if you've sealed the drive. But I think certainly patios, if you've got Indian sandstone or if you've got limestone, porcelain's not so good for biocide because I don't think it's very porous. I don't think it absorbs very well. Slate. Like if you clean all these patios and just say, rather than us coming back and pressure washing it every 12 months, why don't we biocide it? Should we read some opinions?
Yeah, go for it.
£16 every 2 to 4 weeks, my friend charges, Luke says. But is that for weed killer? You do it on a process where you pre-book them. If they uphold the booking, it's a certain percentage off when they pay. If they don't want to be on the contacts list and pre-book in advance, it's full price when they get in touch. That's interesting. So you can say, if you book in now and you follow through in 2 months' time or 6 months' time, then I can honour this price, which is a discounted price. If you leave it longer, then you'll have to pay full price when you come back to me. Is that encouraging them not to come back to you, or is that just encouraging them to be that reoccurring revenue? Go cardless. Mills, what do you mean? Tell the customer you can offer a monthly weed killing service where you will spray once a month during the season. When you say during the season, are we not weed killing in the winter? Is this just a summer thing? Do weeds grow over the winter?
Thinking that. I wouldn't have thought so, but that's just... I have no evidence to back that whatsoever. I just thought it would be a summer thing.
Yeah, because grass doesn't really grow that much over the winter, does it?
No, you don't do anything over winter time, do you? Like, to the garden, you just kind of like to suffer.
Mm.
Yeah, that's a good question because I'd like to know that as well.
Tell them they're going to save money. Yeah, because if they're not paying to have it pressure washed every year, I mean, I reckon it would work out roughly around half the price of pressure washing. So say I'm pressure washing a drive for 200 quid. I'm probably going to do a biocide treatment or a patio. I'm probably going to do a biocide treatment for £75 to £100 every 6 months. So it's going to work out. It's going to work out around about 200 quid across the year. But it's not going to get to the point where it looks bad. It's going to stay looking fresh. So maybe that's the selling point. Is you could potentially, it's going to cost you less a little bit. It's going to stay fresh throughout the year, and you're not applying high pressure to the surface every 12 months and sort of degrading that surface. Add it as a package in your pressure washing service. 5 revisits over the year and pay up front. Do you think anyone's going to do that? If I said to this customer that I've just washed their driveway for or whatever, say, I'll come back 5 times in the next 12 months to apply a weed killer, it's going to cost you 150 quid maybe. You can pay that today and I'll be back. I mean, are they going to trust you? What if they don't need it? What if it lasts longer than they expected and doesn't get weedy? I don't know if that's the route. Personally, I would say a monthly weed killing plan to keep on top of your driveway and pathways. Inspection sounds tacky, but I am Scottish. I mean, the customer can sort of inspect it themselves, can't they? They don't need me to come round and inspect it for them. Maybe the gutters, but I do maintenance plan 30-month and includes weed killer, removing of dead weeds, top up any sanding, and leaf blow. That's a good thing that I didn't think of. Leaf blowing, especially this time of year. That could be included in the all-encompassing maintenance package. Is exactly what Corion's just said. You come round, leaf blow, pull out any weeds, or kill any weeds, and then resand.
Much better that sounds compared to just doing like a weed killing treatment plan. Having break it down that much. But definitely go for it. And again, if you break it down that much, I think you can charge. There's a lot more service there, isn't there? When you break it down,
It's value.
So you can charge more.
Yeah. Do you do any biocide treatments on patios if the customer have any pets or young children? You can rinse it off. So you can apply the biocide, have it absorb, and biocide will generally kill anything organic within the first 10 minutes that it's been on the surface. So once it's done its job, you could then rinse it off. I can't remember where I got this advice from, but I think the issue with applying biocide with pets is mainly if you leave while it's not dry. So if you've applied the biocide and you leave the property but it's still damp, the biocide is still wet, and then the dog walks out and they go and lick a puddle and it's got fresh, biocide in it. And I think the other issue, I'm not a professional when it comes to, from the last few weeks, you don't need to be taking any sort of health and safety advice from me. But I think the other issue is during that first rainfall. So you've applied the biocide, it's dried nicely, it's absorbed into the patio or whatever it is. And then 3 days later, it rains. Every time it rains, the biocide gets reactivated and it cleanses the surface again. And I think during that first rainfall, it's potentially dangerous to pets and children again. I don't know where I got that advice from. I might be talking absolute rubbish, so don't take that as a fact. But you can apply the biocide, leave it 10 minutes to do its job, and then rinse it off, and then it's safe for pets. Weed killing is only March to August, really? So yeah, that was the other things I was thinking. I've got a little list here of suggestions, Rich. We could do our weed killer course and set up a weed killer maintenance plan. And I like Corion's idea of leaf blowing, resanding if needed. That is a proper maintenance package, because regardless of how the drive looks, I'm going to come back and sort it out. If it looks terrible again in 6 months, I'm going to come back and resand it, apply the weed killer, leaf blow everything, and it's going to look great again. That's the promise, isn't it? But it wouldn't be 6 months, it would be every couple of months. You're right.
Yeah, dinner, 5 minutes.
Okay, nice. What you got?
I think like chicken in pittas, something like that.
Pitta chicken?
Well, no oil, so we've had to oven bake it. No oil.
I keep a jar of coconut oil in the cupboard for emergencies. That's really good.
Well, to be honest, I said, we'll just use the coconut oil. Went into the coconut oil, there's no coconut oil.
Oh.
We've got an empty jar in there, just with coconut oil around the outside, so it looks nice and full. And I've opened it, I'm like,
You have to
oven bake it.
get a lighter and just tip it upside down and get the excess from around the edge. You'll get loads out.
I'm going to get that out the bin now.
So
melt it down.
So PA1, PA6 weed killer course, which will enable us to do those weed killer maintenance plans. I was also thinking of ground surface biociding, particularly with decking. I don't often clean decking, but I think I'm going to really insist from now on, let's maintain this. Now that it's clean, let's maintain this with biocide every 6 months. I think that's the key to keeping decking looking really good all year round and not slippy. And I think people will very easily be sold on that. And then I think the other one could be a roof biocide treatment every 12 months. So once you've cleaned a roof or scraped it, I reckon a potentially easy upsell would be, right, now that it's clean, we've done the first biocide treatment, this is going to need topping up again in 12 months' time. And that might just involve climbing a ladder and doing it with your water-fed pole. I don't think you'd necessarily need to rent a scaffolding tower every single time, because brings me on to my next smelty segment. Oh, we should call them smelty segments. Have you got time for this, or do you need to get off?
Now go for it. Carry on. We've got about another 5-10 minutes if that's cool.
Okay.
I'm intrigued.
So, the first thing on the list is to get a proper ladder standoff, like this guy. I can't make the image bigger, but you get the idea. A proper ladder standoff. Not one of them little ones that hook over the top of the ladder like that. I tried one of these on my ladder and it almost killed me. It was at my mum's house. And I was like, I'm never using one of them again. It was horrible. The next thing on the list, to enable me to do these biocide treatments, and also I think it would be great for cleaning solar panels, is I need a ladder step. Like this thing. Ladder step platform. This one doesn't look great, but something like this, so that I can literally stand on near the top of the ladder. When I've done biocide treatments in the past, or clean solar panels in the past, my feet end up, because they're curved over the top rung of the ladder, or the third one down, or whatever, you end up getting like crow's feet, and it hurts. After about 10 or 15 minutes, it really hurts. So if you imagine you're spending an hour up there cleaning some solar panels, it can be really bad. So I think one of these steps would be good. And then the other thing...
I've got size 13 feet. It's just growing them. Yeah, you've got big feet. You need to make sure you look after them.
You need to look after them. That's funny.
I'll look after them, mate.
The other thing I'd like is one of these ladder mats, because I'm forever, even with my ladder that's got the bar across the bottom, it's forever, I'm fighting it, trying to find a good position. And I think these little ladder mats are really good. I just found them today. You can pack it as much as you need to make sure it's level. And I think with those 3 items, I'd be quite comfortable just going back to any of the roof cleans that I've done and applying the biocide from the ladder. What do you reckon?
Oh, they're really cool. Really cool. I hate getting up a ladder. I fell out my van and I thought I'd died. I think like higher than like 1 foot. I'm not scared of heights. I'm just scared of hurting myself. But they look well cool.
You fell out your van.
Definitely, mate. Yeah, it hurt.
Did you?
The figure of 8 tripped me up.
You know those roof cleans that we did on your end of town? Did you mention anything about coming back at any point?
No. But else? Yeah, I will message them. So I think that's a very good idea.
I think it might be worth it. Just say like it's coming up to 12 months since we last cleaned your roof. In order to maintain it, I think it'd be well worth topping up that biocide treatment rather than letting that moss grow back again.
Because I explained the importance of having the biocide on there as well before I'd done the quote, and they really liked the idea of it. So if it's as simple as going back and just getting a treatment on there, it's not going to cost them much.
Mm-hmm.
I think it'd be a very good idea. I'd like to do some more roofs. I've only done a couple. The first 2 that I'd actually landed, and they happened to be neighbours. I had no real interest from anyone on it. I think it's because they just see the roof and think, oh well, it is what it is. I don't think they see a lot of benefit to have the roof clean. But I don't think the customers that I've looked after do.
I've noticed a real influx of interest in roof cleaning since I added a roof cleaning tab on my website, and also since I've posted a couple of roof cleaning before and afters on Facebook. Since I did that, I'm doing like maybe 3 quotes a week for roofs, which isn't a lot to some people, but wow. I think it's considering I had no inquiries for roofs before this, I think it's definitely quite telling.
I think, Matt, I think that's really good, having 3 quotes a week and really focused on it. Have you? You've not pushed roof cleaning.
No, because it's always intimidating me a little bit. But now that I'm getting my head around it and I'm a bit more confident, and I'm not underselling it, I'm not going to do a cheap roof. I'm going to do it properly because I offer a good service. And I've also come to terms with the fact that since another YouTuber mentioned that he lands probably 1 out of 10 roof cleaning quotes compared to driveways, I'm landing pretty much 95% of driveways that I'm quoting. But when it comes to roofs, if it's 1 out of 10 jobs, but you're pricing it well, then it's worth it.
Yeah.
Because
it's so much more effort.
I don't think people understand how much cleaning a roof actually costs and the sort of work that's involved. And so as long as you set your expectations and you know that you're not going to land potentially 90% of quotes that come in, then you can't be disappointed, really.
Yeah. I mean, even when the 3 of us were on them 2 roofs, I know we smashed through it on the day, but if I jumped on a roof with you before, but I think that was the 2nd and 3rd one that I'd done from start to finish. And if I was doing that on my own, just getting the scaffolding tower up, I reckon it would have took me half a day, mate, honestly. With no instructions as well.
Yeah, it's a lot of work.
And that's got to be safe as well. It is. So I think definitely having at least someone else on it. I think it should really be a 2-person job. I mean, anyone who does it on their own, fair play. But I'd certainly feel more comfortable having that extra set of hands on.
Yeah, definitely. Have you done many?
And if you're at height as well in league and that,
yeah,
you gotta be safe.
Have you had many gutter inquiries since you've bought a vacuum recently, haven't you?
One of the Panthers.
Yeah. Have you had many inquiries?
Yeah. I've got about 4 coming up. So again, this is just going through my customers that I've done over summer. I think about 4 of them at the moment want it. Got some fascia soffits downpipes to do as well. But I'm going to do a winter leaflet and just try and get out there, because that's the only way I landed. Probably say 70% of my jobs, I reckon, were from leaflets. It was the only advertisement that I've done.
You had really good success with leaflets, didn't you, when you first started? I couldn't believe it.
Yeah, it was really good. But again, it's just very time consuming. And even like if you're on a job, you've got the leaflets in the van, you've probably done like 6-7 hours of work. You just want to get home. The last thing you want to do is go and spend an hour leafleting. It does work. So if you can find the time and schedule that in, again, I think it depends where you are as well and the type of people in your area.
Mm-hmm.
To be honest, if I get a leaflet, I don't even look at it. I throw it away. But it happens to be a few older folks around where I am, and I think a lot of businesses come through them seeing the leaflets.
Yeah, I think you got to target the right areas with leaflets, because I'm the same. I've been everything that comes through my door, unfortunately. I'm thinking about sending Jakey out. Like, we've got a couple of quiet days coming up, so I'm thinking about just sending him out and just sending him out with 200 300 leaflets, and just say, maybe more, I don't know, just say, spend a couple of hours, drive here, I want you to leaflet, just circle an area on Google Maps and just say, I want you to leaflet this whole road or whatever. And I think it's a good way of keeping him busy, because I've got him on a minimum 30-hour contract, and if he's not quite hitting 30 hours a week, I'm still paying him for 30 hours a week. So this month just gone, we've had like a few late starts and a few early finishes, and we're earning good money, but it's like the hours aren't, we're not working long days consistently, and so I'm still paying him for his 30 hours a week, but give him a little bonus here and there, paying for his lunch and stuff. So he's very well looked after. But there are some days where I could potentially just send him out for a bit longer while I'm doing some admin work. Also looking at getting him his own van soon as well, so that'll open up a few opportunities, I think.
Taylor,
You what?
you know what? That van's been absolutely fantastic. Like, I've had no issues with it. Touch wood. It's been great. I've got all the kit. The space is very tight. I'm literally having to gut it into the garage, and just keep swapping it round. So I think I can hold fire for another 6 months. See how first half of the season goes. I look at jumping up in size.
Mm-hmm.
So if you need it back and you're waiting that long, let me know.
Okay.
But if you want to go for a bigger van, because I know it's obviously it was quite small, and he's got his own machine and everything as well. So
Yeah. The idea is to get
something bigger.
Yeah, the idea is to get his kit out of my van and to free me up a little bit more room in my van. I don't want to keep you too long, mate. I'm conscious you got your dinner. So do you want to leave it there for tonight, or?
Yeah, no, we're ready. That's it.
Good timing.
Usually in bed by about 9 o'clock, to be honest. It's quite a late dinner for me.
All right, mate. I'll leave
Always
you to
now.
it.
And also, I appreciate you having us on. Really good ideas about the maintenance plans as well. So I think like the ladder set up, I think it's definitely something I'm going to be going for. So if you have a discussion and try and like book dates to get that weed killing sorted, whether it's worth waiting till the new year.
I mean, January, February, if it's quite, those are some generally quite quiet times of the year, and that's the coldest times of the year where it's going to start freezing and the gutters are going to be difficult to clear and stuff. That might be a good opportunity to do it. But I also want to nail down the pricing before I invest in any courses or anything. I want to figure out, right, is this going to make money? Does it offer value to the customer? And can I have a structure that I can just say, right, your drive's going to be that. We're going to do this every 2 months, every 6 months. I want to figure it all out before I actually get into it.
I've not looked into it that deep. I obviously just explored the costs of everything. I think it's like 600 quid all in. It's something that once you've done, that's it. Life. Do you have to do like top up courses, or?
I don't know if you have to do a refresher like every 5 years or something. I'm not sure.
See, that's the other thing I want to look into. If it's just the case that it's kind of like a one-off, I'd imagine they'd want to try and make sure you know your stuff after a certain period of time.
Yeah, probably legislation probably updates every couple of years as well. So
it makes sense to make the pricing structure and everything. You got to make sure it's worth the investment as well. If you're going out for like 25 quid here and there, you're better off not bothering. If you can earn a good like 300-400 quid, 500 quid from a pressure wash.
Yeah, I've got to get it into my head that it's going to be lower ticket stuff, but that's the stuff that's going to be reliable, that's going to add value for the customer, and it's going to be that regular income.
Yeah, and it's not a big job for you. It's fairly straightforward to go and kill him.
Yeah. Yep.
But I get it. A lot to think about before you make that purchase.
Yeah. Is there anything you wanted to chat about before you head off, or are you good?
I think I'm all good, to be honest, mate. Good. Yeah, I think I'm all good. You got me thinking about, so I might have a little look into it. I'm all good, mate. I appreciate you having us on, and I hope everyone has a decent lead up to winter.
No worries. Good to catch up with you. We'll see you soon, no doubt.
Lovely stuff. Cheers, buddy.
Cheers,
have a
mate.
good night, everyone.
See you in a bit.
Cheers, bye.
Oh, that was nice, wasn't it? That was lovely. Let's catch up with some of your guys' comments and messages, because I know we've missed a lot. Whenever I've got like a guest on, it's difficult to keep, listening to them and looking at chat as well. It's difficult. Grass and weeds slow down in the winter. Are you guys running a website? Are you guys running a website? What do you mean, David? I've got a website. Yeah, I think you saw me put it up a little bit earlier. Weeds definitely grow over the winter. I did my friend's block paving patio last winter before they put it on the market. The gardener put weed killer down and it looked like the Amazon again later. A month later, really. As regards to window cleaning short and the thumbnail of this video, what was the reminder of why you don't like doing window cleaning and it being a thankless task? What happened that made you? It's the lack of satisfaction with the window. It's people in. I might be projecting at this point, but from my experience, working for Lifeline and stuff in the earlier days, I actually interacted with a lot of these elderly people that have regular window cleaners, and I'd always ask them because I was always interested in starting a window cleaning round. And every person I asked about, oh, have you got a window cleaner, have you? They would all say, yeah, but he never turns up. Or, yeah, I'm on my third one because they never do a very good job. Or they always leave spots on the windows. Or they always use one of them holes instead of doing it properly with the, you know, the traditional method. And not one person said anything good about their window cleaner. Maybe it was just one area and it's the same guy just doing a bad job everywhere. I don't know. But not one person had a good thing to say. And the reason that I didn't particularly want to get into it is because for me, the satisfying bit of the pressure washing, the roof cleaning, the gutters and stuff is you can get really good before and after pictures. And that's what it's always been about for me. Like, potentially those are even more valuable to me than a nice review. For me personally, not the business. A review is more valuable for the business. But for me, the satisfaction in the job is getting a really good transformation, really good before and after. I can't do that with windows. And I don't think anyone really appreciates a clean window. I don't think people care. I think you'll only hear from people. Now, again, I don't have experience cleaning a lot of windows, so I might be totally talking out my arse, but I think you'd only hear from people if you've done a bad job. Do people leave reviews, like positive reviews for window cleaners, saying, oh, my windows look great? Is that even a thing? I'm going to upset a lot of people with this, I think, but for me to do a window properly, each window's, you know, taking a decent amount of time. It's the same as gutters, fascias, soffits. I'm a little bit of a perfectionist, and so I don't want to leave a single speck of, you know, when you get towards the bottom and there's grains of dirt that keep coming out from under the bottom of the sill, and you're rinsing it and you're rinsing it and you're rinsing it, and then you end up going over it with a cloth. And like, to put that much effort into one window when you've got another 30 to do on the property or whatever it is, especially commercial stuff, you know, if you're putting that much emphasis on one single little bit of that no one's going to look at and care about, unless they walk around afterwards and say, well, yeah, it doesn't even look like you cleaned that one. I can still see all the little bits of crap at the bottom. I don't know. It's not for me. It's just not for me. Optimal, welcome, mate. Welcome, mate. I can't believe I offended you with my short. It's like, God forbid someone has an opinion. I can't believe I've lost your respect. It's a very sad day. He has a gardening round. He has about 22 in his books and fits them in on a Thursday and a Friday. Customers don't flinch at the weed spraying. He says from April till August, weeds go wild in the time frame. Yeah, I mean, as long as it's charged right, and I think as long as the customer's getting value, a lot of people would generally be happy paying for that. And I think it also completes the service that I offer. But for me to pressure wash someone's drive, resand it, even seal it or whatever, and then to be able to offer an ongoing maintenance plan that covers everything, that means they can just forget about the drive because it's going to look good all year round, I think that completes the service. Weed killing, leaf blowing, patio repainting. You're going to be making a lot of enemies in the Gardeners Guild at this rate. Am I stepping outside of my lane? I'm very sorry. Evening Chelt, welcome mate, you're right. Can't you do the same with roof cleans? Upsell a yearly biocide treatment. Andrew, yes, I think we've recently been over that. I'm just catching up with messages now, so I'm a little bit behind. The natural progression, he's already pissed off the window cleaners. Oil it. Steve Shires is here. Welcome, Steve, the decking king. Oil the decking. But what if the decking gets dirty? So you've cleaned the decking, you've biocided it, you've potentially sanded and treated it and stained it or whatever, oiled it. Would the best thing be to maintain it with biocide? Because oiling it in 6-12 months time, what if it's dirty again? What if it's like mossy, algae covered again? Look at the microlight standoff. Steve heard the keyword. He heard the word decking and he's here. Microlight standoff. Is it this one? I did look at this one. But it looks like a similar system where it's like springs and hooks. And that terrifies me. I want it to be bolted and like fully secured to the top of the ladder. So this one sits on the roof rather than... I suppose you could put it on the wall. Not sure how I feel about putting wheels on the wall. But if you've got a good enough ladder and a good enough standoff, not sure what I think about harnessing yourself to the ladder. That's got to be an extremely secure ladder, because if it falls, you're harnessing yourself to something that's falling. I mean, I don't really know how any of this works, really. That guy is putting it on a conservatory roof. That guy's got his wheels on the wall, look. See, that would make me nervous for some reason. It's still 2 points of contact like you get with a ladder, but the fact that it's not even going to move, it's not going to roll, but it still makes me nervous. I don't know. Ladder jacks, is that a thing? Ladder jack. Does that mean you need 2 ladders? The McAllister ladder at Screwfix is a bargain. 5.4 meters, light as anything, 3-in-1. There you go. Google them and you can get safety rails. Just remember to pick those damn ladder mats up. I've lost count of the number of them I've lost at customers' houses. Oh no, really? Don't talk to me about losing stuff at customers' houses. Bloody hell. Recently, it's funny because I keep winding Jakey up. Jakey had to buy me a new dustpan and brush today out of his own money because before he left a new broom at someone's house. I can't remember if that disappeared or if we got it. Oh, we got that one back. He left a lance with a turbo nozzle on the end. And they're not cheap. He left that at someone's house. And then recently we travelled quite a way. I can't remember where we were. Oh, it was in Coventry somewhere. And yeah, it's like 45 minutes from my house, and I don't really fancy going back. But he left my brand new dustpan and brush there. And so I said, no, that's it, you buy me a new one. And he was like, all right, I'll buy you a new one. Oh dear. Let's catch up. Oh, my neck is like 6 minutes behind on your stream. However, you're correct about biocide reactivating. Mike said on the course, make sure it's thoroughly washed off within an hour for pets on the Pure Seal course. Oh, nice. That's good information. Roof cleans make the muscles ache, and I do it solo on a My Tower. I do need an employee for these jobs. I am considering, depending on how roof cleans go over the next few months, I'm considering getting a My Tower. But there's a lot of money I want to spend at the moment. I want to get Jakey a van, and with that comes setting him up with his own stuff, like buffer tank. I want him to have like a mounted buffer tank, probably a new hose reel, probably his own gardener backpack, probably his own water-fed pole, a nice one, potentially a pure water system, like a filter in there or something. So there's lots of stuff that comes with setting him up. But I also, once that's done, it leaves me a bit more room in the van for potentially a My Tower, which could help. So I'm not sure. There's a lot that I could be spending money on at the moment, and things like weed killing courses. I need to get my priorities straight, because I'm sort of floating around at the moment waiting for stuff to happen to me, and I need to figure out a plan and point the business in a specific direction. Which one's better, the Panther or the Shadow? I don't know. I love the Panther. I think it's great. I don't have a Shadow. I've got a 3600, which is also great. It's a big berther. Panther is fantastic for all domestic jobs and light commercial. I'd say anything bigger than that, you're probably looking at needing good access around the property, needing a bigger van, and probably targeting more commercial work. Get a group booking for the PA1 and PA6 course and see whether it's cheaper, and see if any of us want to do it at the same time. That's a fantastic idea. We should all make a day of it, because I think most of them you got to travel to anyway. I don't think there's any local to me. So yeah, if I got a group of us and said, can you do us a discount if I bring 10 people? That's not a bad idea. Darren's up for it. I'm very conscious about etching the floor. Apart from using wider nozzles on a surface cleaner and not using the turbo nozzle on natural stone, are there any other precautions I can take to stop etching? Some surface cleaners you can raise and lower the height of the bar. You could consider pre-treating the area with like a chemical to loosen up all of the dirt, so you don't have to go in as hard with the high pressure. You could look at steam cleaning, which you can do at a much lower pressure, or you can just sort of educate yourself on the surfaces that are prone to etching. We've got surface guides in the Discord if you're interested in joining at any point. I don't know if you remember yet. Oh, you are a member. You sorry, Manny, I can't tell which badge your badge is, whether you've got access to the Discord or not, but in our lovely Discord, there's all these different surface guides for granite, for tarmac, resin, and there's just a small write-up for each one that just tells you the things to look out for, what sort of chemicals are best. This is just something me and Matt came up with ourselves, so it's not an absolute Bible. This is just from my experiences, things that work well, things to avoid. So your main surfaces that are going to etch are probably tarmac, concrete, slabs, and sometimes you get it's mainly in the US where you get like a full driveway that's poured tarmac. Over here you tend to find more just concrete, sorry. Over here you tend to find more just like concrete slabs, and you can find if you don't pre-treat them, you have to use a little bit more pressure, and then when you post-treat them, you find that you've etched the surface because you've gone in too hard. So I find if you pre-treat it first, loosens everything up, and then you do a light pressure wash and even a post-treatment, then you'll get perfect results without needing to use too much pressure. So tarmac, this is again just having the appropriate jets on your surface cleaner. Tarmac, concrete, I wouldn't suggest that you can etch resin, but you can certainly leave streaks and lines in it if you use the incorrect nozzles. Even some block paving, some concrete block pavers, the lighter grey concrete block pavers, I've etched those in the past as well. So on like a fairly new drive, where the block pavers are still in very good condition, the light grey ones can be quite sort of cloudy and almost like a dusty texture. If you go in with the too high pressure on those, you can etch those as well. Limestone is the worst one and the least forgiving and probably the most expensive when it goes wrong, because there's not a lot you can do other than, if it's a darker limestone, you do a full limestone restoration on it. I think Pure Seal sells some products for that. If it's a lighter limestone, I don't know what the solution would be. But again, it's about using the correct chemicals and setting the customer's expectations. Just say this surface is prone to etching, so what we're going to do is a low pressure wash, so it's lower risk, and then we're going to post treat it with like a biocide treatment, and that's going to gradually clean it up even more, and we'll come and do this every 6 to 12 months to make sure it never gets to this state again. We get positive stuff all the time, lad. You've just had a shit experience. Lots of cowboys out there. Yeah, I mean, it was just one of them little moments from a much bigger video that I just had to vent a little bit, I think. Hello. Are you going swimming? Well done. Proud of you. Proud of you. Say hi.
Hi.
You're going to bring home that good McFlurry and apple pie?
No.
Oh. Why'd you think about it for so long? You smell good. Who are you going to see smelling that good? What you got in the bag? I'm joking.
Weirdo.
Have a good swim. How many laps you doing?
7.
7 laps.
Stop saying lap.
How many whips?
Horrible. Don't talk to me unless you use the right term.
Sorry. Are you going to do backwards butterfly?
No. I don't mess around, I do the real thing. Is there a reason I shouldn't go?
What do you mean? No, don't try and get out of it. No, I'm proud of you.
I text Luce, I said, "Are we still going swimming?" This was literally 5 minutes ago. She was like, "Yes, stop asking me." And I said, "Were you hoping I'd say no?" And I said, "I was hoping you'd fell asleep." Great.
Right.
Yeah. Bye then.
Have a good time. A McFlurry would be fantastic.
Yeah.
There's a bit of change in my wallet if you need it. What are you looking for? That's someone different. Love ya. See ya.
Bye.
You look like you're waiting to say something. What's up? You don't want to go? Go on. Get out. Hi, Jed. You alright, mate?
Is that how to make that? Scroll down.
No. Go.
Scroll down.
Has anyone said hi to me? Is that what you said? No. Not one person said hi to you. Sorry. In a bit.
Am I allowed to swear?
Nope. Okay, can I ask then, is it about being a thankless job, or is it purely about the before and afters? Your perspective now compared to your short makes much more sense. I'm not saying anything different, like the motive behind the short was the same. It's low ticket work for not much payoff, and it's boring. I don't have to justify my video, mate. Like, I don't know what you want me to say. It is what it is. I've got an opinion. You can disagree with it. You certainly don't have to get offended by it. I'm interested to hear your opinion, but you don't need to make me feel like I'm saying something wrong or incorrect, because it's my experience. Windows are constant income all year round. Yeah, I'm not denying that. The amount of windows you have to do to get to the point where you're earning the same. I don't know unless you're doing commercial work, I don't know if you can make as much money cleaning windows in the same period of time as if I spend 3 hours on a driveway, I'm probably earning £400-500. If I spend 3 hours traveling to multiple properties cleaning windows, how much am I earning? And that's just the morning. I'm going to have lunch, and then I'm going to go and do another one in the afternoon for another £400-500. You know what I mean? It just doesn't add up. If I was to spend the 8 hours or 6 to 8 hours cleaning windows, it's going to be nowhere near. It's just so low ticket and arguably the same amount of effort. Arguably more effort, actually, because my shoulders were hurting after I cleaned all those windows at that cricket club. There's quite a few going all the way around that building, and it's similar to cleaning all the gutters, faces, and soffits. Like, it's when you're doing the pole and you're getting in all the nooks and crannies and doing the frames as well. It's like I'd rather be just holding a pressure washer, to be honest, and walking back and forward and cleaning up a bit of muck. I don't know. It's just me. Can anyone recommend a good flow meter for outside taps? The one I found on Amazon, I don't know if it's good, because I got one before and it was grey. The one I've got now that I was selling the other day was this one. I was selling these on my little stand at Sausage Fest, and I'll put a link in the chat if you want to go and buy yourself one of those. I haven't used it for long enough. It seems to be the same sort of model. It's just orange, which is the reason I bought them. Seems to be the same sort of model as my old one. My old one was working for about 6 months, and then it just stopped working for some reason. I don't know why. I replaced the battery and it still didn't work. But I mean, they're so cheap, I don't really mind buying another one. Why is this link so big? I don't know if I can post this link, it's too big. Sorry. It's just called a Branson Digital Water Meter. BRANDSON. And it does exactly what I want it to do, so it's fine. Evening, Jed. You won't get as many thanks for maintenance jobs, whether it be weed killing or windows, etc. But that's because there's no big transformation, but certainly something that people appreciate. You are right, yeah. Just because you don't receive the gratitude, it doesn't mean that people don't appreciate what you do. I understand exactly what you're saying. And look, I'm not trying to say weed killing is any better. I can imagine weed killing is certainly less effort and quicker than window cleaning. And you probably need to spend less to get you started to have like a good, efficient setup. Have you ever tried any paid ads, Google, Facebook? If you have, what's your experience? No, I'm not the person to ask about advertising. I do no marketing other than my Facebook, TikTok, Instagram, before and after pictures and reels and stuff. I don't pay for any boosted posts. I don't pay for Google ads. The only thing I pay for is I pay GoDaddy about £13 a month to host my website. That's all. The rest of it's fairly organic. The microlight standoff is absolutely safe. We use them at Sky. I think it might not have been compatible with my ladder then. I've got quite an old ladder and it just didn't fit very securely on it. Surely you're securing and tying off your ladder every time you go up one, then right. Securing the ladder. Securing and tying off the ladder. What are you tying off the ladder onto? Are you talking about, are you speaking to Conrad? Because I know some of the BT people, when they go up on poles and stuff, they do secure the ladder around the base of the pole. I don't know. The ladder is tethered to the wall so it can't fall. The wheels on the microlight flutter when you put weight on the ladder. Okay. You're tethering the ladder to the wall. Is anyone doing that? Is anyone bolting their ladder to the wall before they go up it? Because I'm certainly not. A light wash and a biocide every second year. A maintenance coat keeps the deck in great condition. I offer maintenance plans for spring and then winter. Steve, do you find you get much interest in your maintenance plans? Do you have to sell them hard to get people to commit? Or do you find that now that I've done such an amazing transformation on your decking, it's only natural that we'll keep on top of it? Like, it seems like it sort of sells itself, but do you find that there's much pushback? You've got me looking at these ladder platform things for my potential ladder for my pointed ladder right now. If you fall off the ladder, you're bringing the ladder down on top of you. Harnessing to the ladder makes no sense. You're still going to fall. I'd want to kick it away from me. Yeah, I think it only makes sense to harness yourself to the ladder if the ladder is tied in to something, because then it's stable and it's not going to fall. I leave the gutter vac poles at the customer's house. I literally have to pick one up tomorrow that I left. Oh no. It's always good to do that final walk round when you've loaded the van and you think I've got everything. It's always good to just do one more walk round. Why not just buy yourself a new van and let Jakey use yours? Sounds like he's going to need plenty of space anyway. I don't. He's only started driving in the last couple of years, and so I don't want to. He's got a little Peugeot 206 at the moment. I don't want to throw him in a massive Mercedes Sprinter and just expect him to be okay. You know what I mean? It's a big Bertha, and it's I don't think it's fair to give him a van that big and expect him to just not crash it. The insurance on his van would be crazy because it's large and he's so young. Yeah. I just got the Panther and an X-Line chemical trolley with the Gardner SLX for those gutters, fascias and soffits. Great kit for the winter months. Yeah, I'm looking at potentially a Gardner SLX next. I might get one for Jakey and one for me. Some can come to your location on the PA1 and PA6 courses, may be worth looking into. Oh really? They come to you? Am I a member? Rebler, yes, it says you're a member, but I can't. It doesn't let me click on it and tell me which tier you are unless I go through the list and have a look. Jake, have you seen the new product guide from Pure Seal? It's quality. Yes. Do you have to pay for it? Do I have to order one? Or is it free? I'm guessing you have to pay for it. Get that McFlurry way. The micro standoff are brilliant, very stable, can push a tall ladder up the wall and the wheels squash against the wall as you rise up the ladder. Oh, someone else just mentioned that the wheels are kind of soft. Okay, I might look into that then. That makes sense regarding the insurance. Where would you buy a good My Tower? I have no idea. No idea. I've been a window cleaner for nearly 20 years and I can also confirm it's a mind-numbingly boring, unsatisfying job. You have to entertain yourself. What are you doing to entertain yourself? Are you peeking? Are you peeking in people's windows? There's a guy on Discord chat who wanted to drop his whole window cleaning round because he was sick of it. Really? Me and my staff member do 500 to 600 pounds 9 to 5, no breaks, and we have electric hose reels, etc., and lighter poles. Me and my staff member do 5 to 600 pounds 9 to 5, no breaks. That sounds miserable. Why aren't you having breaks? And is that 5 to 600 pound each, or have you got to split that down the middle? So that's 300 pound each on a good day. I can't remember if you're on the Discord. I can't remember if you're on the Discord. But it's £2,000 every week with little to no advertising. Yeah, that's the other thing, is once you've got a customer and they like you and you do a good job, that's potentially a customer for life. And you don't have... I was listening to a podcast about this the other day, this morning actually, is you're now not spending money to acquire a new customer every 12 months. If you want to spend money to acquire new customers, they're additional to that customer that you've already got. So say you've got 100 customers with pressure washing. If you get no recommendations, you're potentially having to sell your service again to new customers every 12 months. Whereas window cleaning is something that can constantly expand as long as you do a good job. You could argue that for pressure washing, but because it's not a regular income, it doesn't make as much sense. You mentioned something about captions for your videos earlier on. What we're using right now can use Minvo to do it automatically super fast. Really? Is Minvo a editing app? I just use TikTok because it does it for me in TikTok. And it's quite intuitive, it's quite easy to do. Is Minvo like a editing app? Not at all. People want, so this is Steve talking about decking. People want to keep it looking in top shape. Even better now, as they want the gutters and soffits done at the same time. So you're potentially incorporating your decking maintenance plan with, I'll come round and I'll do your gutters at the same time, and we'll do some sort of deal. That's a good idea. Maybe that's the ticket. Is I'll come every 6 to 12 months. I'll inspect your gutters. I'll clean them out, inspect them. If they need doing again, I'll do them again. And I'll do the weed killer. I'll do the biocide treatments. I'll resand. I'll do the leaf blowing, and it's going to cost you this much every 6 months. I don't know if that's adding too many services to a maintenance package. I'm not sure. I don't think anyone was being serious about tying off the ladder. I certainly wasn't. Oh, okay. Okay, sorry. It's not like the movies. Oh god, I can imagine. Peeking through customers' windows. I bet you see some sights in the UK. Run your business how you want, but if he's employed, pay with no breaks. You are breaking serious laws. He gets paid by a percentage. He doesn't want the breaks. He could have one if he wanted. Take all the hassle away from the client. Editing app on desktop, worth taking a look. Saves me a lot of time. Thank you. I'll have a look. I will. Yeah, if you can make something as hassle-free for your customer as possible and just say, look, you're getting all this value. It's going to cost you this much every 6 months or every 2 months or whatever. And you don't need to worry about it. And it's going to stay looking good all year round. I think that's sort of quite compelling in itself. I would love to give up window cleaning, but for me the other services are not regular enough, so I have to get to the windows I have to get the windows going as well. Yeah, Paul. I think you can sort of get locked in. I think once you go down that path of creating a window cleaning round, because you can't drop window cleaning customers. Although window cleaning is a great pathway into upselling bigger, higher ticket exterior cleaning. So window cleaning definitely has its place. And also a lot of people that are commenting on the TikTok or the YouTube were people saying, I can make a hell of a lot of money cleaning windows because I only offer commercial window cleaning. I think that's not bad. And I also think if you're planning on expanding the business and you can get a bunch of commercial window cleaning customers, that lends itself to just having your staff go out and do those jobs only every month. And that's like really secure, safe monthly income. It's guaranteed monthly income that you can then pay your employees with. So that makes more sense to me on a commercial scale, but I can't see myself ever doing residential window cleaning. And I do offer window cleaning as a one-off service, as a first-time clean if it's part of a bigger project. So if it's part of a roof clean, or I'm doing the gutters, faces and soffits, do you do windows as well? Yes. Can you wash my conservatory? Do you do the windows as well? Yes. But it's not a regular thing that I'll come back to do, you know. Oh, it's an online app, not download. Okay. Right then. Has anyone got any questions? Should we do a little bit of question time? Again, I'm not a professional. I've got a bit of experience here and there with bits and bobs. Is there any burning questions that people have been thinking about for the last couple of weeks that it's not something you can Google. It's not something you want to post on the Facebook pages to get a bunch of different shitty comments from people. Is there anything that you want to ask that you think I might know the answer to? Someone's recognised my tattoos on your video. Jake, he's just texted me. We weren't sure if anyone would figure out what his tattoos were. I might run a little quick advert and pop to the loo and just get myself a glass of water to keep me going for a little bit. If there's no questions, I'm quite happy just ending it here for tonight. But if you've got anything that you want to talk about, feel free to put it in the chat now, and I'll be back in a sec. Now, these videos take a lot of time and effort to film and edit, on top of trying to run a successful pressure washing business. If you find any of the information in my videos useful, then I'd like for you to consider becoming a paid member of the channel. Circle members and above will get access to my private Discord for members only, where you can pretty much get a hold of me 24 hours a day for inspiration, technical help, marketing advice, or just a general chat. I post pictures and videos that you won't see on any of my other socials. You'll be the first to hear about giveaways, special offers and announcements, and it's just generally a nice place full of like-minded people who are all heading towards similar goals. We've got various different experience levels. We've got a few professionals in the chat as well. If you want to push your business, in my opinion, this is the place to be. We also have two other membership tiers. One is just to show a bit of support for the channel, and the other one is for boosted members, which will not only give you access to the private Discord, but also loads of high quality promotional images for you to start your business. I know what it's like when you're ready to get going, but you don't have any before and after pictures to put on your leaflets. At the moment, there's about 150 images that you can use for pretty much whatever you like, and my intention is to constantly update these over the next few years with all of my before and afters that have helped promote my business. Last thing before I let you go, new videos come out every Monday night at 5:30, and then I go live at 7:30 to chat to you guys and answer as many questions as possible. We do live quotes for real customers and just generally keep up to date with everything going on in the pressure washing world. Thanks for watching, back to the video. That was good timing, wasn't it? Little pee break. Chris, that was me, was it? Oh, nice. How many points did you get? Do Facebook ads work for getting work? So I've never done any paid Facebook adverts. I've done one. I spent £14 boosting one of the posts ages and ages ago. I can't remember if I got any kickback from it. I don't know. The type of Facebook advertising that I've done that has really worked for me in the past is I've done work in an area. I've uploaded the before and afters onto my Facebook. Good, high quality before and afters. Saying I've been working in this area today and here's the results. Little backstory, little something to keep people reading and get them engaged, make them click the like button. So that's a post in and of itself, which will get engagement and generate a bit of interest. And then also what I'll do is I'll find the community page on Facebook. So I've got a local one to me that I do a lot of work in. Part of my town, it's called Webheath. We've got the Webheath forum on Facebook. And for some reason, they love me in the Webheath forum. Someone asks for gutter clearing, roof cleaning, pressure washing. Every single person tags me. They say, we recommend Jake. And it's crazy. I've never seen anything like it. But I've struck a chord with Webheath for some reason. And so what I'll do is I'll find these little community pages around my town. Whenever I go and do work there, if it's getting quiet, I'll go onto Facebook, find the community page, join it, answer all the questions, respect the rules. They don't want you advertising. I don't do adverts. I do stories or content. It's not marketing. It's not an advert. People don't want to be advertised to. So what I do is say, hi everyone, I've been doing work in Webheath today. Is there anyone else in the area that needs their gutters cleared? Just send me a message. It's not like an advert. It's not a list of services. It's just, this is what I've been up to. I'm in your area. Let me know if you need anything. And every single time I've posted a couple of different posts on these community pages, every single time I've got messages, and it's led to work. So if you do it right, instead of bombarding people with marketing and advertising, which they'll scroll past and they don't want to read, and it annoys people in these community pages, just do it little and often, and just say, I've been in the area, or I'm visiting the area next week. Does anyone need anything while I'm there? And I can potentially offer you a discount because I'm already in the area. Something like that. So that's what's always worked for me. But when it comes to paying for Facebook adverts or paying for Google adverts, I am not the person to ask, I'm afraid. When are you convincing Jakey to come on the live stream? I don't know if he'll be interested, to be honest. I've thought about asking him. I'm sure we'd have plenty to talk about, and he'd be a great guest. I just don't know if he would fancy it. He's not a very I think I'm already pushing it slightly, like pointing the camera at him every day and and putting him all over YouTube and stuff. Like, I don't want to take him too far out of his comfort zone. It'd be different if, like, he could come over and we could have a beer together, but he doesn't really drink, so it's like, once he's here and once we've done this, I don't know. Would people be interested in having Jakey on? Do people want to hear from Jakey? I said this to him today. A lot of people it was quite cute. A lot of people at Sausage Fest were asking me, like, how's Jakey getting on? Is he doing good? So that was nice. What can you do about old black seals on white PVC weeping? Is that what it is? The black seals? Are you talking about when you've got like a white fascia and then the gutter clips or the gutter hangers? You occasionally get like dark, almost lime scale. It looks like lime scale to me, and sometimes it totally stains the gutter, and no matter how many times you put TFR on or scrub it with Synergy, it just doesn't come off. I wonder if it is seals. I thought it was just on the window frames. Oh, I don't know. I wonder if you could offer to it'd be potentially quite a premium service, but could you offer to cut that out? I'm wondering if that would be difficult to cut that seal out and replace it with a fresh bead of sealer. If the customer's that bothered about it, just say, look, I've washed this multiple times. It's totally stained. It's knackered. I don't know what you charge for something like that. I don't even know if it's possible. If I'm on a ladder for any length of time, say more than half an hour, I will tie off. I use a WorkSafe removable wall anchor and plug the hole with the plastic bung that comes with the tool. I suppose you need to get the customer's permission first before you start drilling holes in their wall. But I know what you mean. Yeah, if you're stationary in one position, it makes sense. But if you're moving around the property, it doesn't make so much sense. His tattoos look very Final Fantasy-like. Yes. So the top ones are, I think, from Final Fantasy. And the other one, I think, is his new one is, I think he said Zelda. I think. 10 points, nice. Get Jakey on, it would be awesome. Hello mate, I'm 19. I mainly do grounds maintenance to give me that monthly amount, and then exterior cleaning here and there. I'm looking at trying roof cleaning. Do you think it's a good add-on? I would say, rather than being an add-on, I think roof cleaning is a discipline all in itself. I think it's its own service that you shouldn't underestimate or take lightly. I would argue that you need quite a lot of fairly expensive equipment to get set up and to do it properly and efficiently, and to do it without risking injuring yourself and risking damaging the roof. I would say it's does anyone else agree with me that it's not something that you should go into lightly? I would say there's some people that start their pressure washing business and they go straight in for the roof cleaning, and I think that's a mistake. I think you don't know your machine yet. You don't know how to regulate the pressure. You don't know really how to control the waste. I think you need to understand the quirks, the things that can go wrong with pressure washing, the amount of cleanup there is afterwards, and understanding all that at ground level for at least 12 months, I'd say, before you think about roof cleaning. That's just my opinion. But yes, there's a lot of money to be made in roof cleaning. I'm probably not the person to ask because I don't do much roof cleaning. I've done some, and I think I've had good results. Harder to land jobs when it comes to roof cleaning, I'd say. People don't want to spend the money. They don't understand how much it costs. We've not long had this conversation earlier in the episode, so you might have to go back and watch it if you've missed it. Cream cleaner, you reckon? Hello, Squeegee Dave. You right, mate? We used to clean a BMW garage with all the rubber marks and used to use this cream cleaner on the white UPVC cladding. Oh, nice. Are you thinking about planning any more events at PWS? I was hoping to attend as we are only half an hour away from Stafford, but we had work backing up. I think it's potentially going to be a yearly thing if Darren wants to do it again next year, which he said he probably does. It was successful. Couldn't believe so many people came. UPVC cleaner is also mentally good. Just don't get it on the glass. UPVC cleaner is like mentally good as in really good. I agree, roof cleaning is hard, a lot to know. You can buy it from Travis, etc. Just put it on the microfiber and apply it. Okay, I'll have to try that. Maybe worth keeping some in the van. Here's me with no machine yet and a roof job booked in. Oh wow, okay. Is that what they call baptism by fire? Good luck, is all I'd say. I think I'm going to go. I feel like I've spent the last 3 days sat in front of this computer just doing video editing and thumbnails and all that sort of stuff. And so I'm struggling a bit at the moment. I'm tired and I could do with a lie down. So I think I'm going to go. A bit of a late stream. What's the thumbnail about? It's just a bit of a joke with someone that commented on one of my videos. Way better and easier than using cream cleaner or pink stuff. Keep it in the van all the time. Nice. Okay, guys, I'm going to go. Thank you so much for watching. Jake hates window cleaners. No, window cleaners hate me because I speak the truth. I speak my truth. Good little stream. Have a good night. Thank you. I think it's been a good one. It's been a nice episode. We've covered a lot of different topics. I think I'd like to do that more often where we'd sort of dig deeper on a few topics and actually figure stuff out. Thank you guys. Have a good night. See you next time.